Hello, so I'm going to say the sounds that you need to learn for quiz 1 and show you what they look like. Okay, so this first one is P, and these lines here are something you should kind of get used to putting around. These lines show that this is a phoneme, all right? So this is not a letter. And another word for a letter is a grapheme. We'll be using that word in the future, grapheme. This is the sound pa, and the symbol for the sound pa is this. Don't call it a P in phonetics, although sometimes, I will make that mistake perhaps, but it's really either it's a pa or it's this symbol, or you can also call this a voiceless bilabial stop, which we will do later. All right, but for right now, this is pa, this is ba, this is ma, this is sa. So those should all be super easy, just what you would think they would be. So ba, pa, ba, ma, sa. Here we have our first one that's a little different. This is the sound sh, sh, like in the word shell, she, okay? So as I was saying before, a grapheme, the grapheme, we actually spell that word differently in English depending on the word, but you might think of that as being SH. That's called actually a digrapheme because there's two letters, but it's only one sound. Shh. It's not, you don't say s, right? It's one sound, shh. You're just making one sound there. So forget about spelling, forget about English spelling. This is a symbol for the sound sh. I did this to show you that you need to be very clear when you're making a s and when you're making a sh. And this is like kind of small and goes this way, and the sh make it really hook-like. So if you make something like this, I will probably mark it wrong because I don't know what that is. I can't tell if that's a sa or a sh. So make these two sounds really distinctly. All right, this is a z, just like what you would think. And this is the way I usually write when I'm writing the grapheme or the letter Z. But if you do that, it's wrong. Because in phonetics, you have to be super, super exact. There's only one symbol. You can't change it up in any way. You have to do what the symbol is. All right? This is f, like fee or frog, being in those words. This is v, like in the word voice and van and vet. And this, so those are typical, what you would guess. This is the sound ya. All right, so in phonetics, do not think this is a ja. This is the sound ya. If you know Spanish, that's gonna help. But so it's in like yak, yet, right? This is the sound ha. And this is the sound ja. All right, so this is sha, 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 like in shell, she. This is ja, 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 which we really don't have words in English beginning with, but if you say maybe Jacques, Jean-Luc or something, Jean, so it's in the beginning of French words. It's at the end of words like liege. So the difference between leash, where you say sh, and liege, ja, 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 is this sound, ja, liege, or in the middle of words like measure, all right? This is a little weird one to make, but you kind of do a straight line down. It's like a 3, kind of, right? Kind of like you're doing a 3. All right, those are the consonants you're going to need to know for the first quiz. And then these are the vowel sounds you're going to need to know, which are a little harder. So make sure you really get those. That's usually what people get wrong on when they're doing their first quizzes, is they mess up the vowels, because the consonants are not so hard. People sometimes get this consonant wrong, but usually the consonants are much easier than the vowels. All right, so this is like, it looks like a little small letter I, but the way you pronounce it is E. Oh, and this is a good time to write down. All right, if I saw this written down, this is P-I-T. If I didn't know, if I just saw it written like this, I might think this is pit, because that's how you'd spell it in English, pit. But if I had either these lines around it, or when we start doing phonetic transcription, we'll put these brackets around it. Now I know this is the phonetic symbol E. This is the phoneme E. It's not I. This is the phoneme E. So this and this are the words peat. So this is E, the sound E, like in the middle of meat and heed, all right? This is the I, like in the sounds hit, miss, And you usually don't make it, these two kind of the same size. You don't make this a big, tall capital letter I, but I won't probably mark you wrong if you do that. This is the oo, oo. So in this, like in the word hoot or mood, oo, okay? Do not do this. All right, so notice it's like a U with a little tail. If you do this, I'll mark it wrong because I don't know what that is. There's another symbol that this is going to be kind of similar to. So you have to do exactly this. All right, then this, whoops, I made a line through it. I didn't mean to. This is the sound ah. All right, and so let's make it a nice ah. So you open your mouth like when you go to the dentist and say ah. And you have to do this one just like this. You can't do this. So this is like what you get in typewriters sometimes. Nope, we don't want that. That's a different sound. We want ah, just the little circle on the line. And the last sound is actually two, it's called a diphthong. You might have heard of that before. It's two sounds put together. But there's three diphthongs in English that are so common that you're kind of going to learn them almost as one sound, really. They're really like a phoneme in English. All right, and this is I. So I, like in kite, hi, my, sigh, I. That vowel sound is this. And again, you have to do exactly this. So here you do need the little tail on the A, and you need the capital I. It has to be exactly that. If you do this with the small I, it's wrong. If you do this with this A, that's wrong. And if you do though, that's wrong, right? So all these things are wrong, and I will mark them as wrong, and this is the only way to do it. So in phonetics, you got to have these symbols exactly the way they're supposed to be, because changing them means you change the sound. All right, so there you have them. Go ahead and you can take the practice quiz if you want.